All
How
right.
about I say hello, everyone, and then she says, Tom and I are very excited.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone. Come on,
We
man.
say it every time.
Tonight on Film Flickers, Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt will take you from here to eternity in the $175 million film Edge of Tomorrow. You'll also find no fault in our stars in this new film.
Hello, ma'am. Your daughter, she's done a great injustice, so we've come here seeking revenge. See, we may not look like much, but between the three of us, we have 5 legs, 4 eyes, and 2.5 working pairs of lungs, but we also have 24 eggs, so if I were you, I would go back inside.
You are now safe inside. Film Flickers starts now. I'm your host, Jessica Headley. The Fault in Our Stars story follows the extraordinary journey of a cancer patient played by Shailene Woodley and an amputee. Based on John Green's novel, it's not just another sentimental story. See for yourself.
I believe we have a choice in this world about how to tell sad stories. On the one hand, you can sugarcoat it. And nothing is too messed up that can't be fixed with a Peter Gabriel song. I like that version as much as the next girl does. It's just not the truth. This is the truth. Doctor's appointments, reality shows, worst of all, support groups.
Christ is our friend and he'll be there to the end.
All right. Hazel, how are you doing?
You mean besides the cancer? All right, I guess.
Why don't I play another song?
You need to be a teenager.
If you want me to be a teenager, you don't send me to support group. You gotta give me a fake ID so that I can go to clubs and take pot.
You don't take pot?
That is the kind of thing I would know with a fake ID.
Hey, make some friends.
Sorry.
My bad. I'm Augustus Waters. I've been in remission for about 1.5 years.
Maybe you'd like to share some of your fears with the group.
Oblivion. What's your name?
Hazel. Why are you staring at me?
Because you're beautiful.
Really? You just ruined this whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yes, this whole thing.
Oh, man.
You were doing really well, too.
I never lit one. It's a metaphor, see? You put the thing that does the killing right between your teeth, but you never give it the power to kill you. A metaphor. So, what's your story?
I was diagnosed when I was 13.
No, not your cancer story. Your real story. Your hobbies, your passions, your weird fetishes.
I am quite unextraordinary.
I reject that out of hand.
You know, Gus talks about you all the time.
We're just friends.
You trying to keep your distance from me in no way lessens my affection for you.
Gus, I'm a grenade. One day I'm gonna blow up, and I'm gonna obliterate everything in my wake, and I don't want to hurt you.
You don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world, but you do have a say in who hurts you. I am in love with you, Hazel Grace. And I know that love is just a shout into the void and that oblivion is inevitable. And I am in love with you. All your efforts to keep me from you are gonna fail.
It's done. We are a hot mess.
You're so beautiful.
Are you angry?
So angry.
You need to break something.
I fell in love with him the way you fall asleep. Slowly, and then all at once.
It's a good life, Hazel Grace. Okay.
Okay.
With so many afflicted with life-impeding illnesses, this story reaches a reality many movies dare not show, but this one dares to, this weekend in Santikos theaters. Time to play Who Said That? Can you name this week's famous movie quote? All right, here goes. Do not try to define me. Email whosaidthat@filmflickers.com and you could win Brenner in a Movie for 2 from IHOP and Santikos theaters. Be sure to include your full name, and if you need a hint, you can always check our Facebook page. Last week's winners correctly answered Ted. It's tonight's Film Flickers Spotlight interview. Smoking a metaphor for a strong life lesson, Shailene Woodley and co-star Ansel Elgort bring some humor and truth to this salt-of-the-earth tale.
I play a young woman named Hazel Grace Lancaster, and she has a cancer which affects her lungs. She has cancer in her lungs, among other places. And so she can't breathe, so she's constantly breathing through this thing called a cannula, which is connected to an oxygen tank that she carries around everywhere with her, which is quite common for a lot of people who have the type of cancer that she has. And she, throughout the course of the movie, she falls in love with a young boy named Augustus Waters, who she meets in her support group.
Let's go watch a movie.
Okay. I'm free later this week.
No, I mean now.
You could be an axe murderer.
There's always that possibility.
Come on, Hazel Grace. Take a risk.
I don't... Really? That is disgusting.
What?
What, do you think that that's cool or something? You just ruined this whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yes, this whole thing.
Oh, man.
Even though you had freaking cancer, you're willing to give money to a corporation for the chance to acquire even more cancer? Let me just tell you that not being able to breathe sucks.
Hazel Grace, they don't actually hurt you unless you light them. I never lit one. It's a metaphor, see? You put the thing that does the killing right between your teeth, but you never give it the power to kill you. A metaphor.
For her, she had never met, I think, upon first sight, the thing that struck her about Gus is how incredibly good looking he was, and yet how witty he was. And I think for a 16, 17-year-old, really intelligent young woman, that those kinds of people don't come into your life very often. I read the book and pretty much decided that I was going to do anything I could to be a part of this movie. The universal messages I just thought were so important and so integral for humanity these days to hear. And if we were able to take such a beautiful lesson and deliver it to the world in artistic form, such as like visual media, very rarely do you go to the movies and leave feeling like your world has been completely rocked for the better.
There may be a fault in our stars, but Ansel Elgort's star continues to rise. First he did Carrie, then Divergent with Woodley. He's also a musician and the son of a famed photographer, Albert Elgort. No picture's perfect until it's picture perfect. Prize time. If you know what movie this scene is from, email me at pictureperfect@filmflickers.com and you could win dinner and a movie for two from KFC and Santikos Theaters. Be sure to include your full name in the email and you can always find a clue on our Facebook page. Last week's Picture Perfect winners knew this scene was from Blazing Saddles. Nicely done. Coming up, there's no cruise control when it comes to aliens, and there might not be a tomorrow after this next flick. Plus, more Star Wars news all coming up in your What's Up Hollywood. Welcome back. It's time for all your latest film news in What's Up Hollywood. Nice to know a superstar like Angelina Jolie, or shall I say Maleficent, also has a human side. Jolie says she was very clumsy learning to work with her 7-foot costume, heels, horns, and all. I can understand why. Director J.J. Abrams has monster company in the Star Wars territory. Godzilla director Gareth Edwards will make the first standalone Star Wars film after Abrams' Episode 7. Expect the releases about a year apart. For What's Up Hollywood, that's a wrap. Star of Top Gun, Mission Impossible, and Oblivion, Tom Cruise is now ready to take us to the edge of tomorrow. Cruise attempts another box office success going up against the aliens with co-star Emily Blunt by his side.
I'm gonna tell you a story. At first, it's gonna sound ridiculous. But the longer I talk,
We have to find the keys.
the more rational it's going to appear.
I can't believe you found coffee.
Sugar, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. 3. You like 3.
How many times have we been here? How many times?
For me, it's been an eternity.
This is not the end.
The invasion will fail. We lose everything.
This is not the
I die within 5 minutes of landing on that beach, along with every other soldier.
How did you do that?
Come on!
Come find me when you wake up.
You do know what's happening to me.
What happened to you happened to me. You hijacked their power.
How do I control it?
You have to die. Every day. Keep coming here and I'll train you. Again. Your leg's broken.
No, I'm good.
Then we better start over.
Oh, come on.
I'm not a soldier.
Of course you're not. You're a weapon. They want to conquer the rest of the world. Unless you change the outcome.
We are not equipped for what's out there.
How many times have we been here?
What are you not telling me?
Edge of your seat time with Edge of Tomorrow in Santikos theaters this Friday. Here's this week's movie scramble. Unscramble these letters to win dinner at Rudy's Barbecue and Santikos movie tickets for 2 people. Email your answer to moviescramble@filmflickers.com and be sure to include your full name. Congrats to last week's movie scramble winners who correctly answered Rapunzel. It's tonight's Film Flickers sneak peek. How is Tom Cruise to actually work with behind the scenes? And what would it be like if we could relive the same day over and over and over again?
Of course, at first it's a nightmare. It's particularly with this, it's like you're having to live your worst day over and over again in one of the most gruesome, experiences of his life. He's having to live that over and over. But then to be able to predict people's behavior, it becomes this wish fulfillment to a degree. But of course, it's just torture for Cage because the way he wakes up in the morning, the sergeant who kicks the bag, Farrell, it's all of these obstacles that he cannot get past.
I think I broke something.
What?
My back. The only thing I can feel in my lips.
Now listen carefully. This is a very important rule. This is the only rule. You get injured on the field, you better make sure you die.
Why?
Last time I was in combat, I was hit. I was bleeding out, just not fast enough. I woke up in a field hospital with 3 pints of someone else's blood, and I was out. I lost the power. Do you understand? I think we better start over, don't you?
What?
It's an infectious thing to be around Tom Cruise. He has this wonderful, irrepressible enthusiasm every day on set. He's not cynical in the slightest, and he's not weary in the slightest of anything. He's just there's a childlike enthusiasm every day and creating a character and a story, and he does it because he wants people to enjoy themselves. He wants the film to be as incredible as it can be, and he wants you to be great in it as well. So he's a very generous actor.
Coming up, it's love advice from a best-selling author, or at least a sequel inspired by it with a few $1,000 of humor. Plus, a government with no rules, at least for 12 hours, after the break. Welcome back. In tonight's Film Flashback segment, Nathan Cohn takes us back to 1963.
Thanks, Jessica. Legendary French bombshell Brigitte Bardot stars as a woman torn between her screenwriter husband and an American film producer in Jean-Luc Godard's Contempt. The Isle of Capri in Italy provides a lush backdrop for a tragic story.
La femme.
L'homme.
L'Italie. La gifle. La tendresse.
La souffrance.
Une tragique histoire d'amour dans un décor merveilleux. La trahison. L'amour.
La beauté fatale.
Fatale.
Contempt is back on the big screen for one night only at the Santikos Bijou on June 3rd as part of Texas Public Radio's Cinema Tuesday series. Join us for the film, fun, and door prizes and support TPR at the same time. You can make reservations at tpr.org. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you, Nathan. Inspired by Steve Harvey's much acclaimed Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady, the sequel schools the love game once again. Time to get fair in love and war and think like a man too, as the crew heads to nowhere else but Sin City.
I'm in Las Vegas. From the casinos to the clubs, the pools, and the strip bars, it's the best place in the world for men and women to get their freak on.
Zeke the Freak! This man is a legend with the ladies.
I can only imagine.
Oh, baby, you ain't got to imagine. We got this on video. You don't want to see that. Zeke the Freak is back in town. I don't know that dude.
Let's go. This is your bachelor party. The next 24 hours, the boys will be with the boys.
And the girls with the girls.
In this battle of the sexes, I was determined to keep us ahead of the girls. This is Vegas! Too deep! I can't swim!
It's like finding Nemo with this dude. Should we help him?
Grab me!
Nah.
Get better like a fine wine as stars like Kevin Hart, Terrence Jenkins, Gabrielle Union, Adam Brody, Michael Ealy show you the do's and don'ts of love in Santikos theaters later this June. Purge your system of absolute anarchy for one given day out of the year. One government's gone rogue, or at least letting its people for a day in a sequel to The Purge. Here's something to pontificate: The Purge, anarchy.
You can't go out there. You know how dangerous it is. This won't bring him back. It won't make you feel any better.
It's late. You need to leave.
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge. At the siren, all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 hours. All emergency services will be suspended. Your government thanks you for your participation.
Tonight allows a release. America, a nation reborn. Just drive. Stick to the plan.
Thank you.
Follow me.
Just remember all the good the Purge does.
All crime is legal for 12 hours with no hospitals, police stations, or fire stations open. But simmer down in your Santikos seats later this June. Coming up, don't X this one off your list because it scored big at the box office. We heard your voice, and Film Flickers is sporting it after the break. And take it to Tinseltown and test your knowledge for the last prize chance of the night after the break. Welcome back. X marks the crown this week as X-Men run with the box office jewels. X-Men Days of Future Past drew in just over $91 million for the weekend in the U.S. and clobbered the competition worldwide with a $261 million overall weekend. Coming in second domestically was Godzilla with $31 million, and Blended, the romantic comedy with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, didn't excite in its debut weekend, matching up with Neighbors in third place around $14 million. Here's X-Men Days of Future Past running with the present-day jewels and crown.
How did you lose them? The treatment for my spine affects my DNA.
You sacrificed your power so you could walk.
What do you know about it?
I've lost my fair share.
Huh. Dry your eyes, Eric. It doesn't justify what you've done.
You've no idea what I've done.
I know that you took the things that mean the most to me.
Well, maybe you should have fought harder for them.
If you want to fight, Eric, I will give you a fight.
Let him come.
You abandoned me! You took her away and you abandoned me!
Angel. Azazel. Emma. Banshee. We were supposed to protect them! Eric, where were you, Charles? You abandoned us all.
Freedom's having a voice. The tough part's making people listen. But here's to hearing your thoughts in this week's Voice of the People.
Saw X-Men, Days of Future Past.
It was pretty good. It was very interesting, and I normally don't look at X-Men.
It's amazing. Yeah, my mind was blown every single plot twist of the way.
This storyline can't be more honest to the comic books than any other movie. I mean, this is solid. This is the best X-Men movie. This is what we've been waiting for.
I was a little bit worried, like I wasn't sure how they were originally going to come back and allow the series to continue. And I saw the end of the film and I was like, yes!
It was amazing. They finally connect all of it, from Wolverine's origin to the new one. They put all the movies together.
They did a good job. They managed to erase X-Men Last Stand.
Yes, they did. I'll give it that. Thank God.
Yes, they corrected quite a few mistakes made by the franchise with this movie. It was very, very clever. I enjoyed it a lot.
Really good.
It was fantastic. I mean, it was way better than the other ones.
Yeah, it was really good. The ending, perfect.
There's a lot more dialogue than you used to see in a superhero film, but the good thing about it is the actors were actually taking it seriously.
Hugh Jackman did a great job. Jennifer Lawrence played Mystique well. Everything came together very nicely.
I just want to say right now, you've got to go see this movie. It's the best in the franchise. Take my word for it. I'm a comic fan. I've read all the comic books. I read all of them. I have all of them. I'm a collector. And I think finally there's justice. The justice has been served tonight, my friend. Justice has been served.
One of the best endings a movie you could ask for.
Oh yeah, I mean, even after the credits sequence, I was just getting ready to look it up on my phone to figure out what they were talking about, because it was a real head scratcher.
Stay to the end of the credits.
Yeah, don't leave. Don't leave.
Huge Easter egg you got to see.
Tell us your twist or take on the latest movies by heading over to the Palladium, Santikos Theaters this Thursday night. You could be featured on Film Flickers. How about some Tinseltown trivia? What fictitious metal is bonded to Wolverine's skeleton? Is it Entertron, Unobtainium, Adamantium, or Kryptonite? Email your answer to movietrivia@filmflickers.com and you could win dinner and a movie for two from Silo Elevated Cuisine and Santikos Theaters. Last week's winners knew that Scorpina was not one of Godzilla's villains. Don't forget, for more movie madness, you can always join me Thursday nights and Friday mornings on Fox San Antonio and News 4 San Antonio for Santikos Movie Moments. Time to say goodnight from all of us at Film Flickers. We light up the screen again next week with a pair of sequels, 22 Jump Street and How to Train Your Dragon 2. Plus more spotlight interviews, sneak peeks, and of course plenty of chances to win. Until then, I'm Jessica Headley with Film Flickers.